Usually when we're dealing with fraud situations, usually dealing with injured workers that are working and getting temporary total disability benefits, or they're claiming they're permanently totally disabled, yet they're working. And you'll see what the SVIU in Ohio will do is they'll like surveil people. They'll do, and you wonder, how do they get information about this? It's usually, I don't know, they get tipped off. So if you're committing fraud, just commit fraud, quietly, I guess. I would not recommend anybody commit fraud, but I wouldn't recommend you sit there and talk about your fraud to your friends and whatnot. But anyways, because I just wonder how they find this. I know how they find it in some instances, because people will work, other jobs, and then the BWC does these. They'll do IRS checks, and they'll see if there's any been reported earnings for that person's Social Security, and I could see that would be easy to find. I'm just wondering, those people that are working under the table, how they find that, and it must be just somebody pissed off tipping them off. This is not an Ohio situation, but this is a Miami construction owner, and so this individual, Jose Arias-Reyes, was the president and owner, I guess, of AR Carpentry Services in Miami, and apparently this guy's an illegal immigrant who had been twice deported before this situation, but through his company he had been incorrectly reporting payroll, and so he was only paying his workers' comp premiums of $5,065. But if he had been accurately reporting his payroll, at least in Florida, his premiums would have been $388,693, which is massive. And so this guy, and I don't know all the details about it, but it's what I mean. The problem with this is, this guy's, if somebody gets injured, and particularly with these kind of construction type things, these are massive injuries, folks. Like when people get injured on construction sites, it's usually like somebody falling off a roof, or a beam falling on somebody, or something horrible happening. So these are massive injuries, and if this guy's underreporting it like this, then it's going to be, and I don't know how it is in Florida, but if this was in Ohio, it would be the surplus fund covering this. And there might be other implications against this guy, and if this was an Ohio claim. But apparently, it's these people cutting corners, and when you cut corners, you're cutting corners on your workers' comp premiums. You might be doing things not quite safe. You might not be paying all the taxes. You might not be reporting, recovering all the required things that you recover. So I don't know if they got this guy. I guess he's going to be deported, or he goes to jail or whatever. I think, hey man, you earned the punishment that you got.